reading from the audiobook this morning. The book is called The CashPT Blueprint, How I Built and Scaled a Successful Cash-Based Physical Therapy Practice even when I was told it was unethical, a bad idea, and that no one would pay more than their copay for physical therapy. So the book is finally published. I actually have a physical copy. I've only got about 24 copies. And what I'm doing is I'm reading the audiobook. So we're creating an audiobook. I'll show you guys a little bit more about the book in a second. And I'm almost done with it. I'm 3/4 of the way through, so I'm hoping to finish it this morning and tomorrow, and then have it out to the audio editor. And then by the end of the month or early July, the book will be available. And let's see if we can get this thing out for out into your hands. My whole goal is to get it out to you and to every physical therapist. So we're probably going to make it available for free or very low cost, even just to cover shipping, so that we can get it in your hands and you can all read it and everything like that. So the CashPT Blueprint, Part 2, the CashPT Marketing System, Chapter 10, Lead Generation Systems. Finally, we're going to talk about creating a free ebook or report or even gift that you can offer on your website or in a lead page or even in person. And this is something that provides values and helps you convert prospects to patients. We've got to give so much information that people can't believe we even have more. That's when you know you're giving enough. And the number one principle is that you have to give to get. If I don't have something that's valuable enough, people aren't going to give me their name or email address for it. If we can give something that's super valuable, that meets a need or addresses a pain point, then people are going to pony up their email and name so that they can get that information. This is one of those things where they're voluntarily doing it, but anytime they can opt out of your emails or information that you send them. This is private, so it maintains their privacy, and I'm not sharing email addresses with anyone. I'm not selling it, but I'm providing something of value to people in exchange for contact information. It's a win-win. Ebook content. What do we put in an ebook? Think about what people have asked you. What are the questions people are asking you? It's basically, in quotes, what would you advise your friend to do if they were in pain? What would you choose for your content? What you choose for your content is based on any issue that you're working on. It's also based on what most people are looking for. What is the problem most people want to solve? For me, for most of us, it's back pain. So that's where I start. There's a whole bunch of other topics that we can talk about. And if your practice is primarily women's health, it would be a women's health thing like, how do you solve stress and urinary incontinence? When it comes to the title of your book or free gift, you want to speak to the fears and desires of your patients. We don't want to instill fear in them or give them false promises, though. We don't want to speak about solve your stress and urinary incontinence with this ebook. Like, that doesn't make sense. It should be something like the 10 ways to stop leaking while you're running. And so along the lines. It's kind of like your USP, and you want to identify who it is and what you help them do. And give it something. It should be interesting, because with the title of the book, you're trying to sell the download, and you don't necessarily need people to read the book. People aren't going to read it, but it's your leverage to getting their contact information, to continuing the conversation. So publishing your book. This is one of the simple things that can seem kind of challenging. All you need to do is create a Microsoft Word document. Then save it as a PDF file. So create your Word document. Include links and pictures and videos and descriptions. We're going to talk about the who, the why, the what you can do. We're not trying to fix it. We're not trying to give away the how, because the how is something that I'm going to do with people in person. But you want to include the information because that's what's valuable. You're helping them solve and understand their problem. So what I do in my book are include hyperlinks to videos I find on YouTube or videos I've created and pictures that I've taken. The main thing I want you to get out of this is when you make an ebook, a PDF, people can't change it and then republish it, which is different than if you just shared the Word document. The PDF is always going to have your logo and name on it. One more thing, when you convert from the Word document to the PDF, you want to make sure that any hyperlinks that you include are clickable. It should do that automatically when you convert to a PDF, but just make sure to double check. I would also recommend creating an ebook cover. You can do this on your own using something like Canva, or even just using an image and putting it in the Word document. It can be one color with some shading or no color at all. You can use stock images if you want, but the main thing you want to emphasize is the title, not the picture. Then you can even go onto Fiverr.com and find someone to make you a cover, or even make the cover that you created into a three-dimensional image for your website. So opting in, you need to create an opt-in page on something like ClickFunnels or Lead Pages where you can send people from your website to collect their name, email, and phone number. Okay, using landing page software, opt-in software, something like ClickFunnels or Lead Pages isn't necessary, but it converts so much better than putting the same information on a website page that you've created off your own website. Because they have entered their information, these people are likely to become your clients. It's basically like they're raising their hand. They are now qualified individuals. They are more likely to be your patients because they've raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested in learning more about how to help myself, or I'm interested in learning how you can help me. I don't get a lot of calls for the free book on low back pain, but we do get a lot of phone calls. It gets people on the phone thinking about what can we do for them. Following up, let people know how often you're going to be contacting them. So you want to send them an email right away once they enter their name, phone number, or email address. It says, thank you very much for downloading or requesting to download our book. Here's the link. And by the way, I'm going to be sending you blog post updates every week. I'll be sending you messages. You need to follow up with them right away, and you want to let them know that you're going to follow up with them in the future. So if you post on your blog every week, say something like, hey, accept occasional emails from me and a blog post every week, or expect a blog post every month and an occasional email from me with health tips. Or it can be more like, in quotes, I'm going to check in with you. Thanks for requesting the book. Obviously, you've had some back issues. I'd love to help you. Respond to this email right now, and I'm going to check back in with you within a few days. Right now, we have a system where I've got about 30 plus emails that go out every 4 to 5 days, and that's a lot. I used to do once a week, and then once every 7 to 10 days, and I did that for a long time, and I'm doing it now. I've added more emails as I update my ebook. You don't actually need to start with 30, start with 3. And then as you go along, you can just always add more. And I've added more and more as I've done this over the years, and I'm doing it more often. I'm using stronger calls to action. And the relevant information is coming out every couple days. I'll throw out a tip on taking care of your back, or why people decide not to do anything about their back. Some information like what's the biggest objection or what's the biggest pro of doing something. Now, if you get their phone number, you can actually even call them. And you can call them within 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours of them downloading your ebook, and say something like, hey, my name is Dr. LeBauer, the physical therapist that sent you the back pain ebook yesterday. How are you doing? What's going on here? Oh, let me start over again. Now, if you also get their phone number, you can call them on the phone. Call them within 24 to 48 hours and say, hey, I'm the physical therapist, or hi, my name is Dr. LeBauer. Do you have a few minutes to chat? I'm the physical therapist that sent you the back pain ebook yesterday, or whose back pain ebook you requested yesterday. How are you doing today? What's going on that you're looking for help with your back pain? Just get the conversation started. There's a lot of other ways to really work this follow-up, but making contact with people, even if they're not ready to book at that time, is important. Maybe even giving them some things to do on their own or answering a few questions can be tremendously helpful and show a lot of value. It can almost even serve as a free 15-minute consult. Actually, on part 3 right now, the entrepreneur mindset. Let me just show you guys a couple things at the back of the book. I've got some, here we go. Some great resources, sample super bill, little place to put contact information for people you're going to market to, scripts for emails, scripts for thank you notes, do you take my insurance call script, daily success checklist. Watch out, the CashPT checklist is in here. And then let me show you, we got the whole, so this is the book. Dun, 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 dun. So we've got part 1, the CashPT Blueprint, part 2, the CashPT marketing system, which is what I just finished. Now we're part 3, the entrepreneur mindset. The CashPT Blueprint, part 3, the entrepreneur mindset. Before we finish up the book, I want to chat a little bit about the entrepreneur mindset. To build a business that allows you to travel without taking a pay cut, that gives you a huge return on your investment, and is something valuable enough to sell, you must create a replicable system that generates revenue over and over and over again. In a business like a physiotherapy clinic, that looks like a website and follow-up system that consistently generates phone calls, but that's not it. This also includes the systems you create to serve your patients and clients day after day, so that the amazing people you hire know exactly what to do to take care of your patients and treat them for you and help you run the business. Think about this. Can you create an instruction manual and a reliable marketing machine that runs and generates revenue for you, for your family, and your employees, even if you were abducted by the aliens? If the answer is yes, then you have a business worth selling, and one that will help you live life on your terms. If your answer is not yet, then this final chapter is where you need to focus. What I want to leave you with is not just a formula for creating a job for yourself, but an instruction manual to grow as a person and become a ruthless business owner who values time over everything else. In this final chapter, you'll learn the 5 principal traits of successful entrepreneurs and how to install them in yourself In this final chapter, you'll learn the 5 principal traits of successful entrepreneurs and how to install them in yourself so you can succeed where others have been willing to quit. Chapter 11, Entrepreneur Mindset, Investing. Expenses are things that are expensive or expensive to some people. Investments are things that you spend money or time on, and down the road they return a greater value. If you're in the stock market, right now the chance that you will have a good return on your investment in 15 to 20 years is good, because historically the stock market has always gone up. This is not a book about the stock market. This is a book about your business, and your business can go up, it can stay still, and it can go away. When choosing where to spend your time and money, entrepreneurs look at every transaction with this consideration. In quotes, am I going to get a return on my investment for the time or money that I'm spending today? End quote. New business owners and people that struggle as entrepreneurs judge these same transactions as expensive. Entrepreneurs look at their actions, times, and transactions as investments that they can get a return on. Being better at business requires learning about business, not just gaining more knowledge about treating patients. Investing in your business knowledge, reading books, taking courses, and working with coaches and mentors is how you ensure your success and sharpen your business skills. BMWs are expensive. Learning better business skills and working with a business coach is a great investment. Creating systems. Entrepreneurs also create systems. A system is something as easy as a video that teaches you how to do a task, or a checklist that walks you through the steps. It can be an email automation that takes people from point A to point B. It can be just a rule that you've set up so that every time someone calls or every time someone becomes a patient, you send them a thank you card. That's a system. It's something that's expected to happen over and over again. Your systems run your business, and the people you hire run the systems. Think ahead. In quotes, okay, in 5 years I know where I want to be, so right now, as I set this up, I need to write it down so that the next person could do it, end quote. While you have more time now, it's a great time to create the systems versus waiting until you really are busy and you need them and go, quote, shit, I need to hire an assistant. I didn't write any of this stuff down, and I've got 26 patients a week, and I don't have time to do anything else, and I have to do this, end quote. Which is kind of what happened to me. Successful entrepreneurs don't do everything themselves. Check your ego at the door. That includes finding someone to help you, who's already done it, to show you the shortcut to getting it done. This is also about treating patients. You're not the only one that can help your patients. you need to focus on where you can be spending your time selling physical therapy or treating patients. If someone else is there to change the rooms, clean, answer the phone, and greet patients, it makes your time more efficient. It's all about buying your time back. The money mindset. The money mindset is an important thing to grasp and understand. And it's difficult for everyone because a lot of people are brought up thinking about money in different ways. A lot of times our parents are not business owners or entrepreneurs. My dad, for an example, is not an entrepreneur. He is a cardiologist who was in business for himself. When I told him that I paid $25,000 to go work with a coach, fly out to California and spend 4 hours with him, he looked at me a little bit like I was crazy. He didn't really get it. Like, he was a physician that was thrown into business ownership because of how physicians operated back in the day. They just were all individual entities that formed partnerships and today are largely employed by hospital systems. Many of these physician business owners made poor decisions or poor business decisions because their drive and goal was just to serve patients who were sick. A lot of people grow up in a, in quotes, money is bad, end quote, mindset. And when money is bad, when things are expensive, you may not want to make money. That leads people to having trouble getting off the ground and moving into businesses where they are asking $150 to $250 a visit because they think to themselves, in quotes, I wouldn't even pay that myself, end quote. The other thing I want you to know about money is that most people don't think big enough. I certainly didn't. I didn't have a reference point for how much I needed or how much I wanted in life. Many therapists I speak with just, end quote, want to earn $4,000 a month so that I can replace my PRN job, end quote, or so that I can quit the job. It's not thinking big enough. The best way to know how much you need is to work backwards from what you want. Think about how much you need to earn each year to get what you want in life and to save and invest and have it once you move into the next stage of your life, whether it's a traditional, in quotes, retirement, end quote, or some other new venture. Once you know this amount, I want you to think about this. If you had twice or even 10 times that amount, what more could you do for your community and the world with the extra income? How else could you support your community, the people in your life, or the causes you believe in? What can you create that will leave a legacy if you think bigger? Because if you're not thinking big enough, you can't even create it. I want to generate enough income so that I can get to a point in my life where I feel like it's hard to figure out how to give enough away. In Judaism, tikkun olam is the concept of striving to improve the world in which we live in. Certainly working to ensure people know their options and get physical therapy first to avoid unnecessary surgery works towards this principle, and being financially able to support organizations that align with my beliefs is another important step in leaving this place a better place for my children and others who will dwell here long after I'm gone. Value time. Time is your most valuable asset. It's the only one thing that you cannot get more of. We are all going to die. You can, however, maximize your time and spend more of your time doing what you want and doing what you enjoy. As an entrepreneur, you should always be considering, in quotes, can someone else do this just as well as me, or at least 80% as good for less, end quotes. If you can hire someone for $15 an hour to make phone calls, change treatment rooms, and greet patients so that you can treat patients for $250 an hour, don't hesitate. I was recently on the phone with one of my Platinum Mastermind students who was asking about taking out a loan so she can bring on her assistant full-time. She asked me if I thought it was a good idea. Instead of just saying yes, my response was, do you think if you hire her, you'll have an extra 20 hours a week to develop your programs and seminars, treat more patients, and generate more than $20 an hour? Her answer was a resounding yes. So if you can buy back your time by hiring a great employee, stop being afraid to do it and just go for it. A personable, bright, and intelligent employee with robust systems to follow will be worth much more to your business and help you achieve your goals. Hiring employees is not expensive. It's actually the least expensive way for you to buy more time in your day to focus on the work that means the most to you. Hiring employees is one of the best investments you can make in the long-term success of your business and of your life. It's called leverage, and it's an investment in their assets. An employee is an asset that does work for you to generate revenue and income and leverage and power and the way that you can multiply yourself. So remember, as we get into this, it's not what's expensive. Like I said, BMWs are expensive, but can you create an asset by leveraging income, by investing time, money, effort into it that's going to bring back a twofold, if not more, return on your investment. Taking action. Action trumps perfection 100% of the time. And if you make a decision that turns out to be the wrong one, you just fix it. You course correct. You go back and adjust. When people get into a place where they can't make a decision and get caught up in the paralysis by analysis or minutia of the details, they fail to move forward. They don't grow and they don't succeed. It is not in the decision-making process where you should be spending the majority of your time. Make a choice, trust your gut, and go for it. Failure is not an option. There are only opportunities to learn and grow. That is what I've done working with my coaches. I pay them to help me decide what action to take and to know what systems to put into place because they are already exactly where I want to be. They make a recommendation, I get it done, and generally get a huge return on my investment. Make a list, use a daily planner, prioritize your tasks, and focus on the tasks that are going to move the needle for you first. Most successful entrepreneurs have an idea of what tomorrow is going to be. It's planned out. Non-negotiable time blocked out on their calendar. You can even start by making one day of the week an administrative day where you work on your business and get it done. 80% is good enough. In school, you're expected to get straight A's and strive for 100%. Perfection is a business killer. Your ebook, your website, promotions, etc. will never be perfect, so stop waiting for it to be, in quotes, just right before you launch it. All you're doing is letting excuses get in your way of forward progress and becoming successful. In business, 80% is good enough. Take this book, for example. I'm sure you found a few typos, and absolutely it could be even better, but waiting another year or more to get it perfect and, quote, just right, would have kept it out of your hands longer. I've worked with so many people who are stuck, stalled out, and fail to make the forward progress in their business they expected. The number one reason? They fail to take action. The number one excuse I hear from people is that they, in quotes, were not ready, and that their product promotion idea wasn't finished. Who cares? I don't, neither do your customers who just want your help. As long as your idea, product, or strategy is good enough, in quotes, good enough, go ahead and put it in play, publish your website, get it out there in front of your target customer. The sooner you do this, the sooner you'll achieve massive results and know if your time, energy, and ideas were the right ones. If it's not a winning combination, you'll know before you put even more time into it. Likely, it's good and will resonate with people, and you'll get more and bigger results sooner, maybe even with less effort than you anticipated. You'll always have an opportunity to go back and refine your product and message, even tweak it to respond to the needs and feedback of your customers. Now that you're done with school, you no longer need to get straight A's. You didn't need an A on your licensure exam, you only needed to pass. In business, you just need to shoot for a passing grade and then move on to the next big task that's going to move the needle for your business. Get over it and start taking massive action now. You only get paid when it's done. 80% is good enough. What's next? I would hope at this point it's no longer a question of, quote, will a cash-based physical therapy practice work, end quote. It's only a question of, quote, when will you decide to start one yourself, end quote. Once you start a cash practice or any business, you have built yourself a job. If you want to truly create the CashPT lifestyle and live life on your terms, you need to plan on hiring staff and scaling your business. When you do this, you truly become an entrepreneur. One of my big life goals is to have location and time freedom by the time my girls graduate high school and go off to college. What this means is that I can go live in San Diego, Boulder, even the coast of Spain for a month or more just because I want to. I'll probably do that and work while I'm there because I love it. I technically already have this, except we don't want to take our kids out of their school and away from their friends. You may have different goals and dreams, but whatever those are, the worst possible outcome for you would be just shut down your business because you built it all about you. Last year, I had a cash practice owner call me asking to help her sell her business because she was moving out of town. Not only was she moving in less than a month, she had built the whole thing about her personal treatments and one-on-one time with patients. She didn't have an email list or an automated system of generating patients. She had nothing to sell. Build your business to sell. Then when it comes time, you can just hire someone to run it for you if you're not ready to sell it. Here's what I want you to do if you made it this far. Thanks for joining me. What we'll do is we're going to post the link to get the book as soon as it's available. And we'll go from there.